My sincerest and deepest apologies to Mr. Pharrell Williams for not taking his little animated movie seriously. I was supposed to see the movie the week it came out, but I canceled my ticket at the very last minute. I'm never doing that again. Alright, so I just saw Piece by Piece, directed by Morgan Neville. This is an animated documentary in the form of Legos. Definitely more documentary than biopic, even though it is a dramatization in animated Lego form of his life. We start in Lego form with Pharrell and who I believe is the director in an interview style format beginning our story. And as the movie goes on, we're hearing from different people he's worked with, interacted with over the years, his family, and then associates and artists, Gwen Stefani, Justin Timberlake, N.E.R.D, Pusha T, Busta Rhymes, so on and so forth. And it's them, it's their voices. It's not like, somebody came into the studio and said, hey, can you sound like Justin Timberlake? No, it's them. I've said this before, animation is not necessarily my forte. I can't really speak to what's good animation and what's not. I can talk to you about story and how that animation is incorporated into that narrative. That much I can do. And I did I say this already? This is probably one of the most creative narrative structures I've ever seen. And the fact that he could have chosen any kind of animation style. He could have done claymation. He could have done stop-mo. He could have done traditional 2D or 3D animation, but he chose Legos. And honestly, the way he views his life, that makes the most sense. Because the movie is called Piece by Piece, and he wrote an original song called Piece by Piece for this movie, which plays at the end, and it's so freaking good. But just the way he saw his life as being built piece by piece and brick by brick, and that's what Legos are, is building things from scratch, piece by piece. It's a beautiful little metaphor. And also because with Legos, you're almost limited in what you can build in terms of shape and structure, but there's also this unlimited nature to Legos. Like, you can build whatever, and that's also how he viewed his life from a very young age, that sky was the limit. He could literally build anything if he just put his mind to it. Now, is the movie good or is it not? I mean, take from this what you will. That could get nominated for something. That should get nominated for a lot of things. Best animated film, definitely for sure. I think there's going to be some interesting competition between Inside Out 2, The Wild Robot, maybe Kung Fu Panda, what was it, 4? But this should definitely make a short list, but I would push for it to get in that top 5. That song, Piece by Piece, should absolutely be nominated for Best Original Song. If they had done a better job marketing this movie and really pushing it that opening weekend, I feel like that song could have resonated quite similarly to the way What Was I Made For, just kind of took over everything last year. It's such an infectious song. It's just so good. And what I love about this movie, because it's not just about the life of Pharrell Williams, but this movie is also about the transcendent beauty and nature that is music and how healing it is. How important music is. In terms of helping us with our own, maybe individual healing, but also in unifying people at some of the best and worst times. That was it was so engaging. I was in it, 1000%. Just singing along, nodding along, gasping. I had no idea. I knew about N.E.R.D, but I didn't realize that the Neptunes was him. I don't know why I didn't know that, but I didn't know that. Because once that clicked, I realized, holy crap, this man has been doing this thing longer than I realized. I didn't know he did Super Thug. That was the first single I bought on CD, Super Thug by N.E.R.D. I was obsessed with that song. And it's amazing when it clicks, because because it takes you through the building of his style and how he got to that very distinct sound. Once you get to that part, it's like, oh my God, he did that. He did that. He did that. I didn't know. I didn't realize just how multifaceted this man was, and how, the way he crossed genres so many times. I don't know why, it just never clicked. But he is an incredible genius. Nostalgic quality to it. Good. Again, this is like you were crossing genres here. So whether you like hip hop, whether you like rock, whether you like pop, there's something here that's going to touch you, regardless. I didn't know he did hella good by No Doubt. That makes so much sense. My first introduction to Pharrell Williams, the first time I remember really hearing his name, was that N.E.R.D song, Lap Dance. I love that song. I was listening to a lot of rock music at that time, a lot of rock and alternative, and there was something about that song. It was very hip hop, but it was alternative, and it tickled my brain. I'm rambling about nothing. Anyways, the movie's excellent. In terms of the movies that I have seen this year, either in theaters or streaming, this is movie number 151. This is top 10, for sure. If this movie is still in a theater near you, it is in your best interest to see it on a really large screen in a very dark room before it goes away. Again, Mr. Pharrell Williams, if you happen to see this, I apologize.